Welcome to Yoga Off the Mat. I'm your host, Divya Bala. I'm a yoga teacher, content creator, activist, writer, and speaker. I wear many hats in the world of wellness, but what remains the most important is that I love to learn and share what I learn with others. Whether you're brand new to yoga and seeking to build a foundation, or maybe you're a seasoned practitioner who wants to deepen your knowledge of yoga, here you'll learn how to apply yoga both on and off the mat as a tool for personal growth and social change. In this pilot episode, I'll share with you my personal journey spanning 20 years and the moments of revelation that led me to this exact moment. I'll also give you an idea of what you can expect from future episodes. Let's dive in. Since I was a child, I've always loved my Tamil Indian culture, but having been born and raised in America, I never found a way to embody my heritage in a way that felt authentic to me. My mother learned the basic Surya Namaskar sequence or sun salutations in a neighborhood class during one of our summer trips to visit India. She taught it to me when I was about 12 years old as a way to incorporate more movement into my life, given that I didn't really have any regular activity at the time aside from PE. For the first few years, I practiced on a straw mat called a pai in Tamil, in my gym clothes, by myself. Just a book to accompany me, no mirrored Technicolor studio, no instructor, no group class, no fire playlist, just me and my mat. It was the first time I felt what we could only describe as a mind-body connection. It's a powerful sensation that you really won't understand until you experience it for yourself. And that's the beauty of yoga. I took my first group class while I was away at college. Soon after, I suddenly found myself wanting to advance athletically, and I pushed myself to learn headstands and crow pose and other gravity-defying impressive postures. In retrospect, that competitiveness was definitely a new side to me, and it did not come out of thin air, but we'll get to that more in a later episode. In my 20s, I went to my first yoga studio class and experienced what I think was a psychosomatically induced moment of intuition. A very long cathartic pigeon pose hold resulted in me involuntarily bawling my eyes out while Bon Iver played in the background, and something dawned on me out of nowhere. Information that I really had no way of knowing, but it helped me let go of some emotional dead weight and start a new chapter. I know many of you may relate to this. I mean, who hasn't had a good cry in pigeon pose, right? This is the part of my journey where I realized that yoga is literally technology that puts the practitioner on the same wavelength as the rest of the universe. I finally understood that yoga heals us on a deep, deep level, and it unlocks so much power and potential. Jump to 2020, COVID was just getting started, and I was too, as a newly graduated yoga teacher who had no choice but to start her career on Zoom. I started creating content about yoga mythology and philosophy out of personal interest more than anything else, and grew this incredible community of like-minded yoga practitioners all around the world. I started teaching online and running yoga fundraisers to connect people to yoga and social justice in the same moment. And since then, I've embarked on a journey of community building and content creation, which is likely what led you here to this podcast. I've taught for multiple yoga teacher training cohorts, spoken at amazing events, been a guest on other incredible podcasts, and so many other things that I'm incredibly grateful for. However, I found that with so much of my time being spent on teaching and educating others, I had very little time left to continue my own studies and really get into a deeper level with the knowledge I already had. One major realization that I've had in the past few years is that the more I learn, the less I know. What a feeling that is. I also saw that there is a huge opportunity in the yoga industry for different types of continuing education, aside from a yoga teacher training, also known as a YTT, which leads one down a path to become a teacher. Being a teacher is a sacred position that should not be taken lightly out of boredom or curiosity. It really should be something that you're prepared and ready for. Even as a teacher myself, I wanted to dedicate more time to filling my cup with knowledge, but Given the events of today's world, I think we could all just use more tools to, well, deal. So I thought, why not bring everyone else along for the ride too? I know I'm not alone in feeling this way. 4 years later, in April 2024, I'm thrilled to launch this podcast, Yoga Off the Mat. Here I'll be sharing all of my musings, learnings, and reflections about yoga with you. Here's what you can expect. Each episode moving forward will focus on various aspects of the yogic lineage and its application in the modern day. We'll cover ways to incorporate limbs such as asana, pranayama, meditation, mudra, and more into your day-to-day life. And because it's me, I'll also unpack current events in the world of wellness and yoga and share my hot takes, because if you know me, you know I don't shy away from sharing my perspectives respectfully. But also know that this is a safe, non-combative, and supportive space. All perspectives are welcome, and respect is mandatory. We'll examine the intersection of yoga philosophy and social justice, what decolonizing yoga actually means, and how to incorporate yoga into your daily life. You'll leave each episode with tactile knowledge on how to utilize yoga for self-inquiry, personal growth, and for social change. I created this podcast to help you embark on the transformative path of embodying yoga, both on and off the mat. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm honored to take you with me on this journey. Make sure you follow Yoga Off the Mat on your podcast platform of choice, on YouTube and on Instagram at Yoga Off the Mat Podcast, and you can follow me as well at Divya Bala. If you enjoyed this episode and look forward to more, consider supporting my work by joining my Patreon at Divya Bala. Thanks for listening. It's time to get off your mat and do some yoga.